So today I'm following up on a community post that I made not too long ago about who my next character strength analysis should be about. A lot of people voted between Kakuzu and Minato like the most, and so Kakuzu won out. So today I'm just going to do a quick run through of what Kakuzu's capable of, his feats and whatnot, and how strong I think he is, and if he's really overrated or underrated, etc., etc. If you want to clear in-depth analysis of how I'm going to do these videos, just I'll post a link in the description for the Itachi video that I did not too long ago with Daigo, and you can just go from there, just see that. If you don't need to, if you don't have to, but I'll post a link in the description anyway. So yeah, so with all out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing that I will cover real quick, because this tends to be a pretty not hot topic about it, but it tends to be something that people go to immediately when talking about how strong Kakuzu is that he allegedly survived the fight with the first Hokage, which both the manga and the other books confirm this. But there is something that I want to bring up, because this could be interpreted a couple different ways. Now, when I say this, I mean to say that this is very synonymous with the Tobirama versus the Kinkaku Force when he got killed by them, because most people tend to use that as a downplay on Tobirama and say that he's not that strong because he lost to them. But this is not entirely the same thing, because it can be interpreted a couple of different ways. For starters, Tobirama lost because he was tired, and it was implied that they were either on a mission or coming back from a mission whenever they encountered the Kinkaku Force. So every one of the Tobirama's forces, including Hiruzen, Danzo, Koharu, and Nohara Sensei, they were all not really in the tip-top shape. So that could play a factor into why Tobirama was killed by them. Not to mention, they also by this time had chakra from the Nine Tails, so that probably didn't help the situation either. So now, I'm not saying that's 100% guaranteed, but it's implied, whatnot. So this could be the same factor where when Kakuzu tells Team 10 and Kakashi that he survived the fight with the first Hokage, or that he fought Hashirama, the term fought is very vaguely used. We don't know entirely if whenever Kakuzu, quote, fought, if Hashirama was actually, in tip-top shape either. For all we know, he might have been on a mission, or he might have been just getting done with a heavy battle with somebody or whatever, or maybe he was on his deathbed or something like that, or he was just really sick that day. Saying that he survived a fight against the first Hokage could mean anything. I've even seen some takes where people have said that Hashirama just pity-spared Kakuzu. Kakuzu took one swing at Hashirama, and Hashirama was like, man, get out of here. And Kakuzu's like, yes, sir. And just left, So, again, him saying that he fought Hashirama, I'm not saying it's not true. It's definitely true. But it's one of those things where, it may have been an assassination attempt, and it failed completely. And honestly, Kakuzu might have been saying that just to hype himself up. Kakuzu seems like that kind of person. I'm not saying, again, he's not lying, but it's some of the low tier Akatsuki members, kind of often try to hype themselves up here and there. So it might have been one of those cases. You just don't know. Originally, I wasn't going to do this because this is not what was a part of the Itachi strength analyzing video that I did a little while ago. If I had to, judge Kakuzu's strength by comparing him to another character, I would probably choose Pain, if only because that's a very hotly debated topic amongst the Naruto community anyway. Now, despite what I said about Kakuzu earlier in this video, even with all his strength and his versatility, Kakuzu does have his limits. His reliance on the multiple hearts means that if any of these hearts are destroyed, he becomes vulnerable. Pain, on the other hand, has a running out. And even though that should be a case closed, he gives them a wide area of abilities, including control over life and death, essentially, mastery of all 6 types of nature transformations, and the ability to summon and control the 6 paths to pain, which on its own already gives Kakuzu a problem. Just in terms of sheer numbers, even if Kakuzu were to fight with the hearts all out on the field, he already is at a disadvantage in terms of numbers. And that's not even mentioning the fact that the animal path can just spam the summons over and over and over again, further outnumbering Kakuzu. So as strong and as versatile as Kakuzu is, I don't see him even surviving long enough before he gets his soul ripped out, or, again, Chibaku Tensei, or even Shinra Tensei for that matter. So, yeah, I don't understand why people think that Kakuzu actually takes Pain, but, just the fact that, Kakuzu needs to take orders from Pain anyway, should already directly indicate he's weaker. I mean, when it comes down to it, Kakuzu's strength and durability are overshadowed by Pain's overwhelming power and versatility. Pain's mastery of the Rinnegan and his 6 paths of pain make him one of the most powerful characters in Naruto, at least the first half of Naruto anyway. And it pretty much solidifies his position as stronger than Kakuzu. And while Kakuzu is undeniably strong and durable, Pain's mastery of the Rinnegan and the versatility and coordination of the 6 paths of pain and his superior strategic abilities make him a lot more formidable opponent, and this is why he's just outright stronger than Kakuzu. So with that out of the way, we can go to get started on like how strong he really is and his feats and whatnot. So most of you already know he's a member of the Akatsuki. He's known for his greed and ruthless nature, but what really sets him apart is his unique ability to use multiple hearts, and each one of them representing a nature affinity of some kind. So Kakuzu's most notable ability is Earth Grudge Fear, which just allows him to sew his body back together and extend his life by stealing the hearts of others. I mean, this technique not only makes him incredibly difficult to kill, but it also grants him access to all 5 nature transformations, like I said earlier. In the manga, we see Kakuzu use this ability to survive fatal injuries and continue fighting for a long period of time. Each heart that he possesses can use each of the 5 nature transformations, like I said earlier, which makes him incredibly versatile. I mean, if we wanted to get down to it, we all only saw one particular jutsu of each chakra nature, so there's no telling how many more he has, just to put that in there. Aside from the feat of him saying that he survived a fight with Hashirama, it's also incredibly impressive that he was able to survive as long as he did against the Team 10, Kakashi, and Naruto with his new signature jutsu, which was the Rasen Shuriken. During this fight, though, Kakuzu showcases his mastery over multiple elements, including, again, fire, wind, lightning, earth, and water. I think it's also worth noting that Kakashi himself even said that all the jutsu that Kakuzu was putting out in that fight were high-level ninjutsu. Like, this is the whole reason why he was confused in the first place of why he was so compatible with each chakra nature that he was using. Because most of the time, even though people can use multiple elemental jutsu, they can't really use high-level ninjutsu with each chakra nature unless they're compatible with their own chakra nature, which again was the whole reason he was confused in the first place. That explained the reason why, the explanation was that he stole the hearts of other ninja who were compatible with their signature chakra nature, and that's why he could perform high-level ninjutsu. So again, I just wanted to put that out there that even Kakashi was not even sleeping on these jutsu themselves. For example, whenever Kakuzu had to combine the fire style mask and the wind style mask to create that wind enhanced fire attack, it took the combined efforts of both Yamato's water style and Naruto's mini Rasen Shuriken to cancel it out. And also, there's Kakuzu's lightning style false darkness attack, which was able to almost cancel out Kakashi's lightning blade. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Kakashi had to use 2 lightning blades in order to cancel it out, so that jutsu is no joke. Shikamaru and Ino were even convinced that if they were going to be hit by it, they were done for. Kakuzu's durability is another key aspect of his strength. Like, his durability is really nothing to sleep on. So, with the Earth style mass that he has in his body, he's able to use the Diamond Morph Jutsu, and this Diamond Morph Jutsu is no joke. As far as I'm aware, I mean, only lightning style can really affect it, and even that's debatable, assuming the lightning attack is strong enough to actually penetrate it. But the Two Tails Monotabi's fireball was point blank, and Kakuzu still survived it with not even a scratch. So it's crazy. I mean, so again, it took Kakashi's lightning blade in order to pierce him with it. So something that most people tend to forget, and I don't know if this really attributes to his durability per se, but Kakuzu is also able to put back his severed limbs, reattach his severed limbs by just sewing them on himself. So, I mean, if he's able to survive a fight long enough, that means he can just grow back his limbs, essentially. So that's even crazier in itself. That's what he did to Deidara and Hidan both. Kakuzu's combat skills are further enhanced by his vast experience. Having lived for 80 to 90 years, he's fought some of the strongest shinobi in history, I'm sure, including, again, the first Hokage, which this experience gives him a strategic edge in battle, allowing him to anticipate and counter his opponent's moves. Realistically, one could say that he has Shikamaru's level of intelligence, but considering that Shikamaru was able to catch him off guard at least a few times, I'd say that even with his mass experience, he doesn't quite have the strategic mind of Shikamaru. His ability to adapt to different fighting styles and use different elemental jutsu effectively makes him a formidable opponent, though. Whether he's facing a single opponent or multiple opponents, Kakuzu's combat prowess is actually very undeniable. I think he gets slipped on a little bit. I don't know if I would say he's underrated or overrated, but That's just me. However, despite his incredible strength, Kakuzu is ultimately defeated by Naruto's Rasen Shuriken, which isn't really too bad because this is a jutsu that's very powerful and even attacks and targets its enemies on a cellular level, which destroyed Kakuzu's remaining hearts, leaving him unable to barely move. Which, honestly, I will say it is impressive that he survived it. Like, yes, he only survived it long enough to say a few words before Kakashi finished him off, but I will say it's actually kind of impressive that he managed to live when had taken the Rasen Shuriken from point blank. So with that all the way, it's time to answer the question posed in the title of the video: how strong is Kakuzu? In my own opinion, I think he's really strong, probably one of the more stronger members of the Akatsuki, and maybe at some point I'll do my own ranking of the Akatsuki members video. But for now, what I will say is, again, I think he is one of the more stronger members of the organization, especially if you do not have knowledge going in. I will say he's synonymous with Pain in that regard, where, like in the case of Jiraiya versus Pain, Jiraiya was completely thrown off guard at each one of Pain's abilities. Like, every time he thought he was gaining an edge over Pain, Pain made use of a new ability that he hadn't shown Jiraiya yet, and it put Jiraiya at a disadvantage. Sort of the same similar case, but Kakuzu's abilities aren't as crazy as Pain, but they are just as powerful. So again, if you do not have knowledge of Kakuzu's Heart's ability and the fact that you have to kill him 5 times, you're going to start getting confused, and that might give Kakuzu the edge over in most opponents. At a first glance, if I had to compare him to other Akatsuki members, I think he's right at Kisame's level. I think it can go either way. Maybe I'll make a more in-depth version of that sentence later on in a video. But for right now, I think he's one of the more stronger tiers of the Akatsuki, but not quite Pain level, obviously, as I said earlier. So that's my take on how strong Kakuzu is. I don't really know if y'all really agree with this or not, but please be sure to let me know in the comments below how this was. I'm not entirely sure if I want to, Kakuzu has always been one that I've wanted to do for a while just because he's my favorite Akatsuki member, just because he's cool. But I also do think that he's slept on. But for a while, I was thinking that he wasn't as strong as I made him out to be. But looking back to the manga panels and the anime feats and whatnot, he's pretty strong, I ain't gonna lie. But again, there are a lot of people out there who thinks he can beat Pain, and I'm definitely not one of those people. So that's my take on it. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end. If you have, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments who you want me to do another power scaling video on. And until my next one, LightningSnow out.